All right, you giant queef. Stop queefing about.
Your armpits make queef sounds.
There we go. You can see me now.
Oh, dude, that picture of you was awesome.
Of what?
Of you making a den with Timmy, but it just looked like you, like you were a portrait of you in the womb. Just like the red glow of it. It was just like the weirdest thing ever.
It was like he was doing my nothing. I was just sat there, and he kept just attacking me with a blanket. And I was just like, Timmy, stop. And he'd come at me again, Timmy, stop. And then I just had to just sort of sit there and be like, oh, whatever.
And just take selfies. It was honestly like looking at a picture, you know, when they take those baby scans, but it's just like seeing a grown man's bearded face on there, just like, hang on a minute.
I've had to play around with my mic this week. I've got like some foam here.
Yeah.
Rather than that stupid screwdriver. So it aims at my face now because I noticed I cut out a bit of the audio last week towards the end.
No, it's sounding a bit better, but do you know what? I'm already recording, so should we just fucking carry on from it?
Do you really want to know about me fucking getting stuck in your mom's womb?
Oh, it was brilliant. I think you need to definitely put that on Facebook. That needs to go up Facebook and Twitter so people actually know what we're on about. Mate, do you want to just carry on?
We can do. I'm tucking into some Chardonnay.
What? Some Chardonnay? You don't like wine?
I don't drink wine, no.
Wait,
I've got a bottle.
So tonight as well, you're going to watch Logan Noir. Sometimes you're really down to earth, and then sometimes you are the most pretentious prick I've ever met. Oh, I'm drinking Chardonnay, watching Logan Noir. Watching a film that's shot for IMAX screens, but I'm watching it on a small TV in black and white in a darkened room, drinking Chardonnay. What's all that all about? Where's this come from? I mean, is it a thing?
I just fancy, like, my dad had to go at me a while back because I was like, I feel like I need to have a beer, and he's like, if you need to have a beer, you're a sad loser. And I was kind of like, no, sometimes you need to have a beer. You need to have a few drinks, take the weight off, you know, and wine is the only thing we had left in from Christmas, so I'm drinking fucking wine.
What's this LA Noir? Logan Noir thing? Do you just like turn the saturation down on your TV, or is this like a version of it that...
It's in black and white. It's filmed in black and white. Because when they released the trailer, they did it with that Johnny Cash soundtrack.
Right.
And the video for that is in black and white, so I think people just kind of put two and two together and thought it may go well, so they tried it, and I guess it will. Do you know what I mean? There's a certain type of film that needs to be in black and white. I think. I mean, Schindler's List. I couldn't imagine that in color.
Yeah,
you know that film is beautiful, and there was actually an episode of Black Mirror that was filmed all in black and white called Metalhead, and that was a horror, and it's very Doctor Who-esque, and it was like extra creepy because it was in black and white. You could see all the whites you could pick out and stuff, you know, and the darks as well. You know, it's really good. I like it.
Yeah, that's cool. Right, okay, right. Let's wrap this shit up. We'll be back with you in a minute. Let's get ourselves prepped.
Yeah. Anyway, so are we here? Are we back?
We're back. So I think, you know what would be a good place to jump into is, and I think we should just start every podcast like this. Who's had sexual harassment charges? I don't want to go into depth. I just want like a news topic here. So coming up in the show, your daily sexual harassment charges include... And something like that. Should we do that?
I was just going to say, I think that's a great idea, but I think first we should do our intro, kind of like, hi, welcome, folks.
No, straight in with the sexual harassment charges.
That's a typical bloke way of doing things. Dick first and then introductions later.
How's it going, mate?
Want to go on this, love? My name's Alex, by the way. I'm all right, thanks. Episode 22, Thors-Kin podcast. Welcome, everyone. Couple of things we need to sort out first before we do get into the harassment charges. I've got them all listed here. Superhero Barfight last week. I've been doing the rounds. Obviously, I do speak to a couple of communities about this until we get a bit more interaction off loyal listeners. Okay, so fight number 1, we had Green Lantern versus Black Panther. We got that one right.
Green Lantern smashed him.
Yeah, absolutely. I got that everywhere we go. Some people were being a bit picky about which Green Lantern it was. Maybe Hal Jordan. Maybe a Green Lantern has infinite power.
Any of the lanterns, yeah. You're not being fun. Any of the lanterns would he's difficult to beat.
Any lantern,
yeah,
any lantern would be alright. I mean, and
Howard the Duck with the fucking green ring on would beat Black Panther.
Batman with a green ring. Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh, can you imagine?
They refused him. They refused him. They said he's not the right. Not the right criteria for them.
It's a whingy twat. That's what's in there. Oh, my dad.
Constantine Predator. We couldn't have got anything more wrong. Like,
why?
He can summon demons.
Yeah, but Predator hunts demons.
I put that. A couple of people were like, Constantine would do really, really well, but like Predator is a trained killer and stuff like that. But like Constantine can use mystic camouflages. He can go into another dimension and he can hide there for a week and come back, and it would be like he'd been gone for a second. He can do, honestly, if you've ever read Constantine, he can do so many. It threw me off guard, to be honest. We had that, and I've been waiting to have Constantine for so long that it kind of just like I got really excited. I couldn't quite think of anything, but Constantine's overpowered. If anything, he could multiply himself. He can pick himself up from different dimensions and things like that. He can do all sorts. So we got that really badly wrong, and I feel bad because like Constantine's my boy. He's my boy.
I still think Predator would win.
There's two types of Constantine you got to remember as well. There's the original Hellblazer Constantine, which was a bit grim and he was a bit dark, and he would probably die then. Whereas the new 52 is it's DC, isn't it? Like they overpower all their heroes. Let's be honest. But that doesn't mean I don't love him for it. I don't think Constantine would win easily, but I think he would still win.
Yeah, but what you got to remember, there might be two types of Constantine, but there's also two types of Predator. You've got normal Predator, and then you've got jacked, I can lift 10,000 pounds Predator that's like 3 foot tall, 7 foot wide and muscly as shit. So he just bench press him. Just simple. He just walk up to him, bench press him a few times, and just bean him on his knee. Just crack, broken back. You're fucked. Get out of it.
John Lovitz in a fucking Predator suit.
Yeah.
I'm John Lovitz. And goodbye. Anyway, you want to get straight into the sexual harassment thing, yeah? Because I think we should talk a little bit about
this
that.
Killed me. This absolutely killed me.
Well, okay, I've done some research into this. So there's 3, I think there's about 5, but the 3 main ones that have been brought up this week is, number 1 was James Franco.
Yeah, I did.
5 different women.
I don't want that to be true. He seems like a little bit of a sleaze, like the way he's like, I don't know, just the way he is and how he can be in some films. You kind of like, you almost know it could be true, but I like him as an actor. I like the roles he plays.
I love him.
I don't want that Seth Rogen, James Franco, and all the rest of that crew thing to start getting broken apart and not existing. So I hope it isn't true or whatever.
I think. Do you know what I reckon? I reckon like they're all a bunch. They love this, the weed and the drink and the parties and stuff. From the image they give out, like,
yeah.
So I imagine they've had some crazy fucking parties over the years, like, so some crazy shit's bound to have happened.
Yeah, the thing is, like, he could just be like, oh, this bitch was taking magic mushrooms and like she just imagined the whole thing, and they'd be like, well, that's a standard Saturday night for James Franco. So who are we going to believe?
And you got Seth Rogen in the back going, just rolling laughter.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what happened to your mic then, but there's obviously a volume setting that past that goes, fucked. That was horrendous.
And then there was Dan Harmon. He's obviously you got Dan Harmon's one of the main writers for Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
But what happened was really weird. There was it was a writer, Megan Gans, was talking to him about it, kicked off at him about it. He apologized, and then she swiftly forgiven him. Now, I don't know if you know much about Dan Harmon. He's a strange character, and he likes to fuck with people's heads. So I don't know if that's kind of a his way of taking the piss out of the situation, or if it's just his crazy world and the way I don't know. It's really weird. She was just like, okay, cool, we're forgiven now. But I was just like,
do you know what? If that's true,
that's a bit strange.
Let's just take a second, right? If that is true, and if it's like if it was a bit of a dodgy moment that he probably shouldn't have done, yeah, it wasn't really overly sinister. Well done to her for not going, yeah, you know what, I'm going to keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. It is what it was. You've apologised. Let's move on. I think a lot of people could do with like that sort of mentality. Funnily enough, I was talking about it at work today with someone, where they were on about this kind of subject, and their mentality was exactly the same. Of like, I can't go into details, obviously, but basically, it was that same attitude of like, what the fuck? Like, just chill out a little bit, stop jumping on the bandwagon, stop being a dick. Now, obviously, that there's a limit to that. If it's genuine cases, of course, there's a limit to it. But yeah, if there was like 5 cases against James Franco, let's say, you can almost say that one's probably someone going, oh yeah, I remember he looked at me funny one time. Do you know what I mean? So congrats to that person who's just like, you know what, water under the bridge.
And the third one was Stan Lee. Now this one really annoyed me a bit. Let me explain the incident first. It's his nurse has apologized that he got a bit handsy and made some lewd comments. Right now, first of all, let me explain. Right, Stan Lee's 95 years old. What kind of 95-year-old, say he's in a nursing home or whatever, he doesn't get a bit handsy and say lewd comments that he heard from nearly 100 years ago from when he was like, I can't see Stan Lee being a monster. I'm afraid. Like,
oh, I think I can, but in an old man way, in a proper, just like, I mean, like
it's not right. But they get trained to deal with this sort of stuff in nursing homes.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter how amazing Stan Lee and the kind of legacy he's brought on, and how much we love him, and how much respect we have for him. He's still 95-year-old guy, you know.
Yeah, that's like someone like with your granddad in a nursing home somewhere. One of the nurses there going, "Oh, he touched me." Of course, he's gonna touch you. He doesn't know what day of the week it is.
Exactly. And I think Stan Lee's doing pretty fucking good by the looks of it, but from his age. I mean, we're gonna lose Stan Lee soon. He's 95 already. There's gonna be a public holiday when we lose him.
Yeah, all I can say is they better fucking wrap Phase 3 up quick before we don't have any cameos in the last couple of films.
Do you reckon it's gonna be a bit like when Alex Ferguson stepped away from Man United? They stopped winning. Like Stan Lee moves away from Marvel and they stop winning. You know?
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things where afterwards it's going to have to be like a Carrie Fisher CGI moments for the what's it name?
The cameos.
For the cameos. Yeah. I think they're still going to do it, but in CGI form as a little homage to him. But we're talking like he's dead, not like he's felt the nurse up. Yeah, I just want him to come out at the end. If people stick up for him on social media and stuff, and be like, "Thanks, true believers." Just at the end, just like that'd be awesome.
I don't think we're done yet. I really do think there are bigger celebrities still out there that are mixed up in this, and people are going on about this bandwagon and about how, you know, it's just some tart that feels like they want to make a bit of extra money and stuff. No, I believe there are some terrible people out there in Hollywood that still haven't been named yet.
Yeah, even though I've said
we shouldn't take these lightly. And like, if James Franco is a sleazy bastard and he has done it, then he deserves to go to prison. Doesn't matter how much we love him and stuff. And like, it would just be a massive shame. That is all.
Yeah. That's like going deeper on the point that I just made there. Like, obviously, because sort of congratulating someone for saying you water under the bridge and stuff. But absolutely, like the problem is that these accusations don't go the full route. Like, have you found that any of these accusations that have been flying about? Do you know what's happening with Kevin Spacey? Do you know what? Exactly, that was one of the first ones. Yet we don't know any facts yet for all this time. Yes, that's like an extreme example, but you don't find out everything. All you find out is the equivalent of like a Twitter post. And if someone was to turn around and say, "Oh, it didn't happen," half the people, including us, even though like we're actively looking around it, we wouldn't know. So they're guilty just by accusation. That's the problem with all this.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation. Sorry, this wine is making my mouth feel weird. I don't drink wine, and it's making my mouth all tingly. I don't know what they put in it, but
alcohol.
Anyway,
if you didn't know.
So anyway, what have you been up to this week, buddy?
Fiddling with my butt. That's it, basically. Nah, I've had loads of car problems this week trying to get to work. I've gone from one car to two cars to no cars, back to one car. So I've been walking to work and stuff like that and working over, and I've just had a really busy week. So everything that I've been doing, I've been getting home. I've been booting up Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 with my girlfriend and doing that. And then I've been going to bed and playing some Horizon 3. And that has literally been that 7 days in a row. Literally.
I think what I did was, because I've been watching a lot of Netflix and looking at things for the show, I think I just knackered myself a bit, because I love watching a bit of TV, but I kind of get to a stage where I just want to do nothing for a bit.
Yeah.
That's a really weird thing to say, but I've just been watching Friends. Literally, I've just started from season 1. We're going to go through all the box set.
It's exactly what we're doing. Yeah, we're doing that at the moment. Where have you got up to? We've just got to the part where Rachel and her and Mindy go into the orthodontist's thing to dump him.
We're a little bit. Where are we? They've just dumped Paolo. Paolo's been dumped.
Oh, do you know what we should do? I think we should do Paolo and is it Barry the orthodontist? I think we should have a superhero bar fight between Rachel Green's love interests throughout Friends.
Just do all the Friends. What a great idea!
That would be such a niche podcast. Welcome to the Rachel Green's Boyfriends edition of Superhero Barfight, where we go through all of the male interests in Friends and fight them against each other. Tune in each week for the 12-hour episodes.
Just remember, we'll be there for you. No, I don't know. I think I've needed. I kind of understand these shit programs that the youth watch now, like The Kardashians, Love Island, and all that shit. Because sometimes you just need to you need a bit of fudge for your head, if that makes sense. You need to just like cleanse your palate. Cleanse your palate is a great way of describing it. I did watch the beginning of the week. I did finish off The End of the Fucking World. Have you seen that yet?
No, I still haven't. I still haven't watched Black Mirror. Obviously, I don't want to go too deep into it because we went way in depth last week, but yeah, I still haven't got around to watching any of that stuff yet.
It got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Boom.
End of the Fucking World. It's really good.
Nice.
It made me feel really conscious about the way I say fucking. I think I sound really weird. Yeah, I think I sound like Brian Cox. Do you know when he swears? He always sounds like he really overdoes it when he says swear words. When I say end of the fucking world, it sounds weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just the wine talking.
Yeah, it's just like, how do you sound intelligent saying four-letter curse words? It's just is that a physics thing? What?
I sound like a fucking remedial. Black Panther. Okay, so I was looking about today, looking for things for this show, and Fandango has reported that Black Panther has sold more pre-release tickets than any other Marvel film ever released.
Do you know why? With Thor Ragnarok, when I went to see that, they showed the trailer for Black Panther. When you watch that on an IMAX screen, holy shit, it looks awesome.
And I think that's right. I think that the way they've handled the advertisements for these has been great because they held back for so long. All you got was posters and snippets and snippets and snippets, and then it's all of a sudden it was bam! Look what we've got.
Yeah,
and people are excited. I think after Thor Ragnarok, I think you're going to get a huge surge of ticket sales now because that movie was outstanding.
Yeah,
it really was.
Yeah, but they need to do Black Panther right, because if they turn people back off before Infinity War, they're going to go into it sort of half baked, almost like they. Do you know how Avengers 2: Age of Ultron didn't quite hit that same level? Everyone's like, oh yeah, the second Avengers was pretty cool, wasn't it? That should have been like, oh my god, Avengers 2. Like that, it should have been like the next level, where it wasn't. I don't want Infinity War to be like mellow and oh yeah, that was pretty cool. It was good. I want them to go like Thor, Black Panther, Infinity War, like stepping up each time. So I'm looking forward to it. Black Panther looks badass in the trailer.
Do you know what I think about when I think of Age of Ultron? I always think, oh, Age of Ultron, but then I think Hulkbuster. Let's watch it. I always think of that Hulkbuster fight. It's so good.
Yeah. But no, I think it will. It will sell good. It will sell good. This one.
Yeah, it will do. And like you said, I don't think it doesn't matter if they lose a bit of their audience. As soon as Infinity War comes out, they'll all come creeping back out again. Honestly, that film is going to be Infinity War. By the way, it's going to be the biggest selling movie in the history of movies. I'm telling you.
Yeah, probably by like a factor of like itself. Like it will be 50% higher than everything. Like you could fit. What's currently the highest grossing film? Do you have any idea?
I think it was Justice League. I'm joking.
Fuck off.
Avatar, I think.
Avatar, yeah. You're going to be able to fit 2 avatars in the same space that Infinity Wars takes up easily, I reckon.
Okay. Well, we'll remember this.
That's my prediction.
Got some bad news for you, Jimmy, and you called this actually on like our first or second show.
Mm-hmm.
They've hired a writer for a Black Widow movie.
Told you.
Yay! Oh my god, who wants this shit? No one wants this shit.
If she's naked,
do you want this shit?
She gonna be naked?
No, it's Disney. It's Disney. We don't do nipples in Disney.
They do Drax nipples. They do Drax nipples. It's like, my nipples are sensitive.
Yeah. They do grotesque violence, but they don't do nudity and sex, unfortunately.
Yeah, and they do horrendously undertoned, racial, slurred cartoon graphics with mice. But yeah, they don't do tits.
And that's a shame because, like, I'm not being funny, but who wouldn't want to see Green Gamora tits?
Who wouldn't want to see Mickey Mouse nipples? I reckon they should do that. They should do like not like adult as in adult, but they should do you know how they've done live action Disney stuff. Like you've got Beauty and the Beast, like you cartoon and then action. They should do like Mickey Mouse and Goofy and stuff like that in live action and see how that turns out. That would be horrendous, but like proper mature. Just like Goofy is the Punisher, Goofy versus Mickey Mouse, superhero bar fight. I'm getting silly now. Sorry. I don't want a Black Widow film. Sorry, I was thinking, don't. Actually,
I was thinking of a segue to talk about Deadpool, but I was thinking, how cool would it be just to do a standalone movie so it doesn't affect? They wouldn't be able to do it because all the geeks, they like things to run on, and if it doesn't, they get a bit pissy. But just do like a Deadpool kills the Avengers, just like
that would be wicked.
How cool would that be? Like, just have him following all the members of the MCU around and just killing them, just taking them out. That'd be so cool. He's one of the only characters that Disney don't have at the moment. That would be the perfect way to do it, you know?
Yeah. You could you could come up with the cheesiest like time portal thing ever. Like, he presses a time portal thing at the start of the film, and then he presses one at the end, so the whole film doesn't impact anything conveniently. And then he looks at the screen, it's like, convenient. And then like that would be a Deadpool excuse. You could get away with that, and people would like they'd accept it.
They could do Deadpool walking through a fucking wardrobe and be like, "Oh, I'm going to Narnia," and then all of a sudden he's in the MCU, he kills everyone and walks back through the wardrobe. Everyone would do that as well. It would just Deadpool.
That would be wicked.
Like.
Yeah, that would be awesome. They should. Yeah, that would be wicked. Like, so you've got like the Deadpool, the Marvel films, the same as you got like Star Wars 1 through 8. But then you got the Star Wars stories, so you could have like little spin-off stuff. I'd love to see Deadpool in with X-Men, but like full on, not just the ones that they could afford to license, like Wolverine. Everyone.
Have you ever read Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe?
I haven't, but I'm gonna at some point, because I've got the Marvel Unlimited app on my phone now, so I'm kind of going through stuff there. I'm enjoying that.
I read that and I was in fits of laughter. And like moments of, oh wow, throughout reading that. Like, Spider-Man's the best one. The way he takes out Spider-Man. So anyway, did you see Ryan Reynolds' tweet this week?
I did. Yeah.
Do you know? Oh, so cool. What's her name? Is it Bay Arthur? B is B, isn't it? BAE.
I don't know.
B. So that's what it says on the bottoms of his katanas. It says B Arthur, and I was reading, and it's apparently it's an Easter egg. It's a really clever nod by Ryan Reynolds. In the comic books, Deadpool has a really unhealthy infatuation with the Golden Girls,
right?
And especially the actress B Arthur,
right?
And in the comic books, he's always walking around with t-shirts of her on, and he's like a proper fanboy of her. It's really strange. And it turns out that Ryan Reynolds used to work in the same studio. I think it was 2 separate projects, but the studio designer on the set next to him was actually B. Arthur's son.
Yeah.
So he's actually got in contact with him and asked if he could use her name and her likeness. So I guess he's going to be wearing the t-shirt and stuff.
That's cool.
So it's just like a really clever nod to the comic books, and so people look at these katanas thinking, "What's all that gold writing?" It doesn't mean shit. It actually is like a really cool little Easter egg there for you fans. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I like stuff like that.
And those, I'd love some of those katanas though. How awesome do they look? They look really good. What else have we got geek news wise? What have you been up to? What have you been found?
So, Forza Horizon 4. How does Japan sound?
Is that where they're going? Is it?
Rumors, yeah. In Japan. Oh, don't make that face. That looks like sad face. Neon lights, streets, and the mountains and the hill races. It's perfect. Think Tokyo Drift and the environments there. That would be awesome.
I'd have preferred Dakar. I'd have preferred like big open desert, like just, and then like the odd city. And no, I just think
how boring's desert gonna be? Fucking sand.
No. Imagine just like driving up sand dunes and shit. That'd be so cool. I know you can do that on.
Yeah, you can do it on. You can do it on Forza Horizon 3 already. They need to choose somewhere that is completely. It's like Assassin's Creed. They can't do like London, like with Assassin's Creed, fucking whatever it's called, Syndicate. They couldn't do London and then do a Manchester version where like you're one of Noel Gallagher's ancestors. Like it'll be the same thing. You just couldn't get away with it. So yeah, they need to do something different. I think Japan would be wicked.
Yeah, I'll buy it, and I'll probably grow massive women tits, lactate, become a bit of a couch potato by playing it so much, because I do love those games. But the only reason I was a bit like about Japan is all the drifting shit. Like I'm not into like drifting. Honestly, even when I used to play it online and destroy people like I do, I hate all the drifting shit. You see like some spastic, some idiot would just like take a wide berth of a corner, take 3 of us out, and then be gone. And I'd hate that.
Yeah, but they wouldn't necessarily. You could race like that in anywhere. Like that's not drifting. That is just taking wide corners and fucking ragging it round the corner. What it would do is allow them to introduce a new mechanic into it that's like proper drift racing with proper cars, like proper tuning and stuff like that. All the hill climbs, the environment, the architecture that they could use when you're in the cities, the neon lights, when you're in the rural areas, like the traditional Japanese architecture and things like that, all the paper buildings and the coast races. You could have Mount Fuji. You'd have you could do so much with it.
Yeah, I just worry about space. That's all. It sounds daft, but like it's all the same sort of environment, same sort of infrastructure. You know, you go up the mountains, it's tight corners. You go in the city, it's tight corners. I like nice sweeping tracks, you know. But and like there was a track in, was it Forza 6? I think it was. There was a track in Japan, and it was all like hairpin.
It doesn't need to be like that though. You could, in the same way. I mean, Forza Horizon 3. If you go to the city there, that's got tight streets. You've got grid layouts. You've got all that kind of shit. You just need to have your map designed so there's a bit of Tokyo, there's a bit of Mount Fuji, there's a bit of the hill climb stuff, there's a bit of the coastline driving, there's a bit of countryside, all that kind of stuff. Because, you know, you need the variation in there. You couldn't just design, well, here's Tokyo. Great, we've got fucking 12 miles of grid locked fucking traffic to drive through. They do it clever. So if you don't like Japan, where would you set it?
Where would I'd be a bit more originative. I mean, they always come up with the same shit every game. It's always America, Australia, Japan, London. Like, there's like so much of the world to go and see. I mean, you've literally just hopped over 4 continents. How much diverse? All they ever do is America and Australia and Europe. God, they're the worst 3 continents. I want Antarctica. Do you know what they need? They need fucking what's it called? Superman's Palace, Fortress of Solitude. They just need that, where like Fortress of Solitude is the Horizon hub, and you just go around. No, man, you need to go to Canada, hey? You want to come up here? We got great roads in Canada, hey? Hey, you got the ice, we got the mountains, got the beach.
The beach. You could do Africa. They could do J-Berg and all.
It's amazing because, yeah, you could do. But the thing is, would they do a continent or would they do a country? Because you'd need a country with Ethiopia would be fantastic because you got deserts, you got mountains, you've got everything there.
Exactly.
Go to fucking Ethiopia.
Yeah, they could quite easily choose a country in probably a coastal country in Africa and get away with that easily.
But what I got from playing a lot of it online was I'd be talking to Australians that were from like the areas where they'd made.
Yeah.
And as you go through the city, they'd be like, it looks exactly the same as the city. It looks very much the same.
Yeah.
It's like this bus stop here, I'd live around the corner from there.
Yeah.
Like I didn't believe it. I was like, fuck off. Like, no. Like, and they were like, no, it's seriously, it looks very much the same. They did really good, like did really well with making parts of that city look like they do in real life. So that was quite impressive. So like, I'm guessing Japan have probably paid Microsoft a bit of money to say, do it here. You know, I guess that's how it's got to be. It's got to be.
Nah, they just choose what suits what they want to actually do and go there. Things don't really work like that too. What they're going to do, Japan as a country, just like the fucking Mount Fuji walks down with a briefcase full of fucking money and just goes to Phil Spencer just like, your film no game in Japan. Like, no.
And then you got the guy in Ethiopia going, oh my god, we are going to have the game in our country until the Donald Trump, he said our country is a shithole country. It's so mad.
What a
So
prick.
mad. It's unbelievable. You're like,
yeah, I know. You need to sort your internet out. It's like you've got that vape and it's coming out. I can literally see like the different shapes that it's coming out in slow motion.
I've actually turned my Wi-Fi off on my phone. Like the only thing is the Xbox downstairs. That's it. Like,
well, sort your fucking
nothing,
Xbox out. Yeah, Donald Trump. What a prick. I think we do. Do we need a new segment?
I think we do. I think we should have who has Donald Trump insulted today. I think we could call it the Trump dump.
Let's actually do that. Let's do the Trump dump every week. They've just
Trump dump.
This podcast is just turned into so many segments. Through
this fucking idiot's head? I don't understand.
Oh, I don't know. He's just a prick. He's just an idiot that. He's a stable genius. I just don't get him. I really don't. So basically, he's cancelled his trip to the UK because he knows that we're all just gonna. When he's landing in Air Force One, we're all gonna be on. Like standing there at the going, "Oi, fuck off, you wanker! We don't want you here!" Just like a bunch of fucking football hooligans. But apparently, it's something a bit more sinister, isn't it? Apparently, it's got something to do with the security on the safe houses that they be in. Like we've got shit security over here because that affects every other fucking diplomat or politician or whoever comes over.
I just think he's a mean old man. I really do mean that. I think there's ways of doing what he's doing, but without being so chauvinistic. But the thing is, like, all of his supporters are following suit. I've been having so much fun with Trump supporters. I don't know if you've been watching my Facebook, Jimmy. I know you kind of do sometimes, but I have just been. I'm not trying to defend us as like a country and as a thing. I'm poking him with sticks. Like I'm just kind of going around saying like, just telling them they're wrong, they're full of shit, and just using those trigger words that they hate, you know, and just starting off their arguments because they all sound the same. The whole Trump supporters, they're all saying the same things over and over again. Like some woman today was going, well, if your shithole countries weren't shitholes, then why are you all living in America? And it's just like, well, someone was just like, did you know there's like millions and millions of Americans living out of America? Why would they leave there? But it's just like that same dialect, that same thing that somebody else would have said. Do you know what I mean? It's bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a bit of a weird rant. But yeah. Like I've been to Colombia, which is, you know, got a bad reputation because of a lot of shit that went down, horrible shit that went down in the 90s. It's actually a lovely country. It's a beautiful place. It's so rich, so beautiful to look at, and the culture's amazing. Like, but because people don't understand it, they're gonna say shit like that. And
yeah,
he doesn't really help, does he?
And just to put to for the record, like UK, it is a shithole. I'm not gonna lie, it is. Like there are a lot of areas in the UK which are absolute dumps, but you don't. If you're like you some of your strongest allies politically, you don't go around and go, mate, you probably should clean up your street, shouldn't you? Just like, just go to your meeting, sign the things that you need to sign, say the things you need to say, and fuck off back to your own room at the end of the day.
Exactly. And the thing is, right, with us, we're just so fucking pig ignorant. I mean, our country is in a fucking shit state right now. It really is. You got people dying in hospital corridors. There's so many people living on the streets. The amount of poverty in this country is at a fucking ridiculous state at the moment. We're not looking after our mentally ill people. We're not looking after our youth, and the education's shit. But at the same time, we're what's the way to put it? We're polite. You know, Americans are like, we're the best country in the world. We're the fucking the world of freedom and all this shit. And it's just like, we're not like that. We're kind of like, yeah, we're shit, but fuck it, we'll get on with it.
We're shit, but we're modest and polite.
Exactly. Yeah. And like when I went to Colombia, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you went to Colombia? Did you get their finest?" I was like, I didn't see one baghead on the street, not one. That's not an exaggeration. There are police on every single corner. The malls, the libraries, whatever it is, it's all immaculate, clean, and you can't come up to me and be like, "Oh yeah, this, that, and the other," when you don't know. You just don't fucking know. And this is what I mean. Trump has attacked Norway. Is it Norway he's attacked? If you look at the stat, they have got the best, the best education. They've got the best employment rates. They got no murders. They got no gun crime. They got nothing. And he's a shithole country. Like what? Yeah.
If I could actually live anywhere,
I go on these rants.
It would be somewhere in Scandinavia. Like I think it's Sweden who've recently brought in 6-hour working days. Yeah. And productivity's gone up. People are happier. People have got more time. They want to make more effort during the time that they're in work, and they actually enjoy it. So, and there's no litter, there's no this, that, the other. It's just how could, okay, fair enough. We do kind of live in a shithole. You should probably think it and not say it, but okay, you're kind of right. But yeah, when you start making those comments towards Scandinavian countries as well, it's the dirtiest their countries get is the snow rally tracks after they fucking ragged a Ford Escort around it. Just the emissions that come off there. It's there's 1% more CO2 in the air. Oh no, it's completely clean air again now that it's dissipated. Just that's as dirty as their country gets.
And you know what? Scandinavia, the whole world still is gaining. I don't know where I'm going with this. Vikings, awesome.
What? What the fuck?
It's wide. Oh my god! I'm just saying that the Vikings influenced the Western civilization so much that we still kind of follow a lot of. Anyway, Vikings are awesome. I love what you did there.
Right? Yeah. Great. Totally. Yeah. Vikings. Yeah.
That's
Are you really that bad? Is that thing that's making your tongue tingle? The alcohol. Is that hitting you?
A little bit, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't drank wine in ages, but I'm not gonna stop. Fuck that, I'm enjoying it. Okay. I was gonna, because there isn't a lot of geekiness going on about at the moment. There is a little bit, but like I said, I've kind of been cleansing my palate this week, and I thought we could pick a subject that I thought we could get some fun out of, and I've actually really enjoyed looking for news rather than geeky shit this week, and I found a bit about. I'm really slow in my words, aren't I?
And your mic's all over the place as well, so it's just it's literally listening to someone driving down a really bumpy track with a shit mic on a loudspeaker on a phone.
Okay, welcome to Radio 4. No, drones. We've all seen drones.
Drones and Vikings.
No, I was reading a bit about technology and about how technology is changing the world.
Yeah.
And I found a bit about drones and how they're starting to really come into our lives and change things. And there was something that I read about. It's called computationalization of nature, and that's not me being drunk. That's it. Computation.
That's him being drunk. The first time he was sober.
Computationalization of nature, and it's basically it's us monitoring everything. So you're talking about volcanoes, we're talking about weather, glaciers, migrations of animals. Everything is being monitored right now by drones, and we've got for the first time ever, we've got a network that scientists can access and be like, I wonder where a such and such type of geese is this time of year, for example, and they can go and they can find it on the internet. We know now, we're starting to understand everything about the world, and it's because we've now got like really cheap pieces of equipment. They're expensive to buy, but in comparison to what you would have had to buy before drones came along, they're cheap pieces of equipment that you can just throw into a volcano, that you can just fly 16,000 feet in the air and watch a glacier. I mean, I got some amazing examples here that I've been looking at. Logistically, Boeing have been working on creating these huge cargo ships. They're only 4 feet tall, but they are 15 feet long and 18 feet wide. And they can carry up to 500 pounds, which is 35 stone. So they can pick up like, what's an example? What weighs 35 stone?
Three of me.
Exactly. Well, they can move parts now around with no people. It's electric. They can move things from one side of an airport, for example. Mm-hmm. They can pick up baggage and move it from one side of an airport to another and make things a bit more efficient.
So, are these flying drones, or what are these?
Yeah, they're called. Where's the word? They're called octocopters. So that's your typical 4-blade drones.
Octocopter. Yeah, octocopter. I want an octocopter for Christmas.
We should throw it in Superhero Barfight. The octocopter.
It's just a guy with 8 penises that swivel around really fast, like he's some unbeatable weapon off Robot Wars.
It's that weird octopus off Finding Dory. Suck my dicks. Yeah, logistics. So that's awesome. Didn't you think that's wicked?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I was looking at something like this the other day as well. I think Amazon. If I'm stealing your thunder at any of these points that you've looked into, then just say.
No, go into it, man.
So I was looking at something the other day where it's this in a warehouse basically where they've got it's like a massive fucking those hoovers that you just press a button and it just vacuums your floor. And you just leave it to it for like an hour. It has to it just goes in straight lines and it just goes until it hits something and it figures out where it's been in the room and it just maps this whole thing. So it's like one of those but bigger, and it basically goes underneath these special these like pallets that obviously have things on top of it, and they're like pump trucks essentially. They're automated pump trucks, so they lift the pallet up. And the whole thing is completely automated, so it keeps the in this warehouse keeps the the walkways clear, so there's always an empty road to go down. But it's like this giant game of automated Tetris, where you've got these just completely independent drones just going around, lifting one pallet up, jigging it around, moving another one in, and all this kind of stuff. And this whole warehouse just is completely independently operated with these little drones. It's amazing.
I did see the video when you put it up, it's amazing. But that kind of use of technology, it annoys me, because that's like 20 guys' jobs gone.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's you're gonna completely automate logistics in a way that no one's going to be able to afford to buy shit. Yeah, you're going to be able to move it, but you're not going to be able to buy it because you've got no jobs.
It kind of does, yeah, it kind of does the opposite, doesn't it? But like in a catch-22 where it brings the price of stuff down, but it creates an issue where people don't have the money to do stuff with. So it's like, for the majority though, it does make things cheaper. Then,
I was reading a story about it's about the Agung volcano in Bali, and this was erupting, kicking the place's ass. People were really sad and having to evacuate, pack all their things and leave, and everyone was really upset.
That's like the understatement of the year. People were sad. There's a fucking volcano going off. People are sad. Hi, this is Alex reporting for the 10 o'clock news. I'm here in Bali. There's a volcano literally blown up this gentleman's house. Hi, sir. Can you describe how you're feeling right now? Hello, I am sad. That's it. I'm just sad.
You completely ruined my punchline, you bitch. I was going to say people are really sad unless you own the fucking, unless you own the drone. That was the whole point of it, you dickhead. Of course they're sad. The house has just been destroyed. They're fucking devastated. They lost their lives.
I couldn't help it. I'm glad I ruined your punchline.
And you get all these fuckers from the West coming like, oh, let's go droning in Bali. People are dying. Like,
let's go droning. Like it's snowing outside and you want to go out sledging. Let's go droning on the volcano.
Dude, have you not seen the sports that they're making out of these drones?
Have you seen those races?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like droning, like those like F-Zero X, whatever that game was.
Yeah,
F-Zero X.
Yeah,
and they go for the hoops and stuff. That's amazing, and they're fast.
Imagine
if one of them hit you in the face. Fuck.
I saw one where they set up this warehouse with loads of boxes and like they put like I guess like those those playground hula hoop things that you spin around your waist, like one of those, or I can't remember properly, so I'm sort of filling in the blanks. So they had like LEDs round in a circle, so they had to go through the hoops, but they had the warehouse with all the boxes. They had routes outside, and they were going around at like what must have been about 30 mile an hour, which doesn't sound a lot because you think about 30 mile an hour in a car. In a little tiny drone, when you're going in between boxes and doorways, 30 mile an hour is like
no wind resistance.
With no, it's like you're like a fucking jet plane in a city below building level. Like it's insane. I'd love to like have a go at them, but the thing is, they're probably really expensive, and you've probably got to practice so much outside before you even think about bringing it inside, because you just crash it instantly, wouldn't you?
Let's see. Like, what I'll do is I'll put feelers out and see if there's anything. If anything like that comes to our area, we'll see if we can get press tickets. We'll go.
Yeah,
so cool.
I reckon we should turn up with like really shitty From the Entertainer, like a remote control helicopter, and be like, "So guys, can we play with you?"
And do you know what? Actually, there's a big following for stuff like that. I remember when I worked at Asda. It was the whole bottom floor area was the area. The whole thing was on stilts, and the underground was a car park, and we'd have problems with people that would map out tracks and do RC racing there. And you should have seen some. I was the fat fuck security guard that used to have to walk across the car park and be like, "You're not allowed to beer." but secretly,
I love that. Not allowed to beer.
But secretly, I wanted to have a go on them. They were awesome, like little petrol RCs, and they go so fucking fast. Honestly, they were amazing to see. And there's like a big community of people that do that sort of thing. So I imagine it's kind of evolved with the whole drone thing, and they're cheap. Like I said, they are cheap.
Do you know what they need to do? They need to mix drones, drone tracks with RC racing, and then have like a Robot Wars RC race. So it's almost like a bit Destruction Derby, but like almost like a road rash thing. Yeah, stuff like that. And they need to do like a remote control championship, so where they've got like 4 different what's the areas? Special. I can't think of the word. It's like fuck's sake. I can't think. Yeah. Categories. Yeah, it's different character. That's a specific word. But yeah, they need 4 or 5 different categories and have like remote control championships, and they need to make like a sport out of it. Because I know they like Red Bull are getting into sponsoring all this drone racing stuff already, because there's already a sport being made out of it.
Yeah, and like. And this is how drones are changing things like for leisure. I mean, like in Agung, like Bali, they managed to work out that just from like scanning the area as an eruption's going on, just before and as it's going on, they managed to work out that. I mean, they probably knew it before, but with the drones, they've been able to get more data on the fact that the mountain actually swells before it explodes, and there's a huge increase in carbon dioxide. And you wouldn't have been able to do that if you didn't have an unmanned craft that could kind of surround the area. Apparently, people have been losing a lot of drones around there because, like, you can imagine, there's just no air up. There's nothing there. Like, you need a certain amount of air to be able to levitate anything. And if it gets really dry up there, it's not gonna be able to fly. And also the heat,
Yeah.
Wind resistance, fucking anything, So, and also there was a drone that up in the Andes that flew about 16,000 feet in the air, which is the highest a drone has ever flown, to map a glacier in Peru, which obviously is more for geography reasons, but that's still pretty impressive. 16,000 feet in the air for a drone is pretty fucking good. That's like
that's awesome.
Drones have been used to monitor orangutans in Indonesia, make blood deliveries in Rwanda, and make deliveries for Amazon, like you just said, and give us fat fuckers in the worst pizza. So there's like really important reasons, and then there's keeping us fucking fat with Domino's. Have you seen them? These little Domino's things. They're like little mini car bus things. They're trying to patent at the moment, and they give it a GPS and off it goes. It's like a car, and it just goes off and it drives to your house.
I get that Domino's are a big pizza place, but it's like they're developing technologies like Amazon are. They sell pizza? How are they developing their own drones? Like, this is worrying. It's just like, can the local guy who owns 3 fish and chip shops around Telford all of a sudden start developing his own drone technology now? Is it that cheap? Like, all you need is a couple of shops.
I think Domino's are really clever at what they do. I mean, they stay open like till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's an estimation. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. There's like 1 or 2 people working there throughout the nights, and they're very sparsely located around towns and things like that. They're not like McDonald's, where they're here, there, and everywhere, and you need a whole fucking bunch of staff to keep it running. There's 1 or 2 guys working there through the night. So they pay for 2 people's wages. They pay ridiculous prices for pizza, and they're open when nobody else is open. It's a great model. They make a lot of money because of it, and so they can afford to do stuff like this.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not rocket science, dickhead.
All right, shut the fuck up. Beard cunt.
Oh god, this wine. No, anyway, there is an episode of Black Mirror.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
Where there's an automated pizza delivery. I think it's Pizza Hut, and it knocks someone over. And of course, everybody's going about this pizza delivery thing from Domino's, and everybody's like, "No, don't do it. We've seen Black Mirror." Accidents are always going to happen. I think even if there's a robot or some machine controlling these things, there's still going to be accidents, isn't there? I mean, like, it's just going to be a lower chance of it happening.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to have to go through like a whole process of like there needs to be so much automation throughout the whole thing, so until it reaches the point where there's going to be no accidents. But I was also watching, like, we've talked about loads of different like fun, interesting, useful, like utility uses for these things. I watched a video not long back that I don't know whether it was real or whether it was like a warning thing. But the technology is going to exist in, if it doesn't already, which it could quite easily. Christ, one person could develop this technology in a couple of years, let alone a group of people, actively trying. So it was a guy on stage, militaries, doing like a military thing of a new weapon, and basically it was a little drone. So I'm talking a little drone, like, could fit probably 3 in the palm of your hand. It's just got your 4 little rotator blades each corner, and it's just the actual base of it. And they built this technology into where it was covered in cameras, and basically if anything came near it, it acted like a fly. So if you were to throw something at it or try and touch it, it went whoop to the right, and it could react like this ridiculously instant. You couldn't touch it. Once you press go avoid, like do the avoid setting, you just could not touch this thing. And basically they then mounted this little tiny bit explosive device into it, that was a directional explosive device. Now, obviously, if anyone's ever played Call of Duty, you know, you stick a breach charge on a door, it blows inwards, not outwards. It's because you've got things like that are like they're directional. The blast goes one way, so all of that force, it doesn't go outwards where it's evenly distributed. It's all punched into one thing, so it can pierce through a lot with tiny amounts of explosives. And they showed this demonstration basically where this drone, you could not touch it, and it flew at ridiculous speeds and just planted on top of a soldier's head. Boom. Straight through the brain. And then they showed this demonstration of how many you could fit into a crate on a cargo plane, and how many crates on a cargo plane you could, how many crates you could fit on a cargo plane, and it was something like 30 to 40,000 of these things could fit on a cargo plane. You open the doors, it drops out, and each one of those is a potential guaranteed kill on the battlefield, and that shit's scary to me. That's where drone technology can go. Because each one of those, like, you can't take it down without firing, like, shotgun sort of, like, mulch AA into the air where you're covering that much area. You couldn't, like, take one thing down. You just physically couldn't do it. And you don't even have to show up. Like, they literally could have gone, right, we need to find Osama bin Laden. We need to take out all of ISIS. They need to do this or that. One guy with a laptop. Right, that's a target. Click enter, flies over, he's dead. That's a target, flies over, he's dead. It's scary shit.
No, it's not.
Why?
It's not. You just have nets over the fucking doors. Why nets everywhere? What are they going to do? I'm joking, it is scary. I'm joking.
So, just completely going off topic straight away from that, I've literally just seen Unilad is going to be my dickhead of the week. All right.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
So,
from killer drones to Unilad.
Fucking straight into it. So yeah, signal went. We're back in the room. And I've literally just seen this, so I'm gonna have a fucking rant about it. Superhero Barfight was Alex's idea. If anyone wants to take that idea, fuck you. It wasn't. There were people doing it before him, but don't tell anyone. Okay. Unilad, I've just seen this thing, Mortal Kombat, but it's other video game characters fighting. It's like Mortal Kombat with like Shovel Knight in it, doing different finisher moves. Fucking Robin bastards. There we go. Dickhead of the week. Fuck you, Unilad. You Robin twats.
And you know what? It's a very niche market. You'd think there'd be a lot of people doing this sort of thing.
You would,
there are a few videos and things been made, amazing. Some of them fan based, but like I've looked, and there's not a lot of, because like we don't just do Marvel versus DC. We do like characters from all walks of life and things like that. Yeah, so it's very clever of them to jump on that with someone that's already got a fan base like Unilad or Lad's Bible, isn't it, Unilad?
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, that was literally, I just saw that, so I thought I'd have a rant. Yeah, that drone thing, like, I saw that and I was like, literally, because it was a good 5-minute video. And I was like, wow, that's some scary, like, you're not going to need to, like, fight a war with people soon. You're just going to be able to, because you could make those for, like, pence. Like, you literally...
Yeah. And I don't know if you heard what I said before we got cut off, but that same drone that you were talking about, I saw today, and they've already improved it. It's already evolved into a drone that they look like a pound coin, don't they? They're not very much like this, and
okay.
they can kind of penetrate water, come back up, and then launch off the water again, so they can go in water. They could sink a submarine. What? Can you imagine that all it takes to sink a submarine is a poo through the hole, and that's it. It's gone.
Yeah, you'd send like 20 of those all around different layers, just explosives on them, and just boom, 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 straight down the hole. Jesus Christ, that's insane.
But there are stupid things that are happening at the moment with all this automation. Like I don't know why. Let me try it. Press this link. It's take me to Okay, so Toyota have been working with Uber. I don't know if you saw this. To make a transportation system. They wanted to make a car that would take, it's like a taxi, Uber. And it's basically a taxi that's automated. It'd take you from one place to be, and it's a drone, it's automated, and it's electric, It's winner, chicken dinner, And then they were like, what if we can get multiple people and go on a route that would take John home, and then Laura, and then Jimmy, and then this way, and all on the same route.
Like a bus.
Like,
well done, you invented the bus.
They already have trams running through Birmingham and whatnot. It's ridiculous. Yay, well done, Toyota. You fucking idiots.
I bet there's someone like, what if? Because there's traffic on the road. We go in the air instead. Like a plane.
Do you remember Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone? With the taxi robots. Hi there, welcome to call a cab, whatever it's called. That's awesome. But like, can you imagine just sitting in the back of a bubble, like, and not having no idle conversation with a tired taxi driver? So, mate, you've been busy.
No, sir, I have not been busy because I can operate 10,000 trillion calculations per split second annum.
It's
okay.
It's Pizza Hut, by the way. That was the pizza van. Look at that.
Do you know what that looks like? You know those trunkies that were on Dragon's Den?
Yeah.
It's just, can you imagine seeing a little toddler going around with those? Just like, got your pizza.
The introducing the first Pizza Hut fully autonomous delivery conception vehicle. Why have you got to call it a delivery conception vehicle?
Do you know what?
It's a pizza van.
Conception. I do not want anyone conceiving with my pizza before it arrives with me. Do you know what they should do? They should someone should CGI one of those Pizza Hut drones into the Death Star scene where it's driving around, so it's on the floor. It's like bloop, 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 but it's just one of those little Autobot drone things. Autobot? What am I on about? Roll out.
Roll out.
Oh, can you imagine now? Just 5 o'clock, pizza's ready, and like the lead Pizza Hut bot's just like, all right, pizza bots, roll out. It's just like bloop, 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 bloop.
Where is the bright spark? And as well, like, everybody's like getting into technology now, and technology's everywhere. We've got watches now that are glued to our wrist. Do you know what? I got one of those Fitbits a couple of Christmases ago when I was kind of at the gym and kind of losing all that weight. And do you know what? It literally fucking burnt a hole in my skin. I'm not even joking. I had this Fitbit watch on all the time. It would tell me when I was sleeping. It would talk how many steps I'd taken, and they're everywhere now. And I took it off after a while, and I get you're not supposed to sleep in it, but there's a fucking sleeping app on it, so I kind of did. And it was just like it's just this red square on my wrist where it, like, the laser would just like burnt my skin, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna sell you. I don't trust you, dick.
Yeah. Like when your watch is physically hurting you. No.
Yeah. And
goodbye,
like,
Ultron. Not today, thanks. Oh, so I know we sort of talked about this already, but like we did AI. Was it last week that we talked about AI?
Yeah.
And now talking into sort of like automated with drones, like, and how you can use them as weaponry. That's what's scary, is layering the two together. Where if you took AI that was sort of like, for the better way of describing it, born in perhaps into the wrong environment where you couldn't explain to it, where if it had, oh Jesus Christ, that wine's gone. Where you couldn't explain, like, this is what you are, this is the world we're in. If they didn't restrict into, if it got into the internet and it had access to weaponry like this, you couldn't do anything against it. And that's not like a stoner, like, oh, the drones are going to take over the, like, you just couldn't. If you
not one that can map out a destination,
nope,
and fly tirelessly for days, nights, yeah.
You just genuinely couldn't. You would literally be fucked. Like, if you had those instant kill, guaranteed 1 kill per drone things, like, you'd be fucked.
Do you know what's going to come to, though? It's going to be like, I liked it when Boba Fett died in Star Wars. Fuck you, haters. And then there's going to be some of you going, oh, all right, okay. and he puts his IP address in and sends a drone to kill him from one fucking continent to another. You know? That's what's
Ouch.
gonna happen.
So instead of swatting, you get droning.
Yeah, I forgot how sensitive that was, actually. I shouldn't have really said that.
Yeah. That's why I was just like, hand to my mouth, just like, oh, damn.
No, but that's what it's stupidity. But anyway, like, so my point is technology is slowly creeping into our everyday lives. And I was reading an article today about, it was yesterday actually, about VTech. And they've created these tablets for kids. My little boy's got a tablet. It's well monitored. I check it all the time, and there are games on there because he's learning how to download. Knows how to go on the Play Store, and he can download. But there's a restriction on there, so some 3+ things like that, So he can download things, but I check what he's downloading, and also the pop-ups as well. You can press them, and they kind of just download. And some of them are dodgy as fuck. Like, there doesn't seem to be any sort of copyright protocol with these sort of games. They can just take Paw Patrol and make some cheap-ass game on it and ask a kid to buy tokens for this game. Obviously my card isn't attached to the tablet. But anyway, there's all these sort of possibilities that kids can get up to all sorts. But also, on the other side, there's some naughty people out there that access a children's tablet. And this is exactly what happened to VTech. They released a tablet, and they got fined £480,000. It says here, because kids' tablets were getting hacked.
That's not enough money. You can't only fine someone less than $500,000 for that. What happened?
It says here that there were people getting bank accounts getting hacked. It wasn't on a massive scale. It wasn't loads of kids, but there were pictures being taken off these tablets.
Oh,
there were bank accounts being accessed and things. There shouldn't be any margin of error for something like this. If you're going to give a child a tablet, it needs to be seamless. It needs to be more protected than anything. And VTech, they deserve to be fucking destroyed for this. I mean, I get they're a huge company, but
it's
you can't.
If you've got any big company, we've doing it at work at the moment, where hiring sort of IT guys to come in and do certain stuff. Once you get past a certain point, where your responsibilities are X, Y, and Z, it's, in this case with kids and stuff, it doesn't take a lot for someone to come in and take Windows, what you know as Windows, to press a few buttons, and all of a sudden you've got a completely locked off shell of Windows that does a few functions, but you've completely locked everything apart from that behind 17 brick walls that you just can't access. Surely a company like VTech should have those tablets going out in that same sort of condition where, okay, you can click onto a store, you can download a game, and maybe you can access the settings. But surely those VTech tablets should be it. Maybe technology doesn't work that way, and I don't know. But
the thing that was targeted the most was they've got something that's called Kid Connect, and it's basically like WhatsApp but for kids. Yeah, so kids can share pictures with each other, and these pictures were stolen by hackers.
That is a bad idea.
It's terrible. And like I said, my little boy uses a tablet, and I agree with it. I think it's great. His hand-eye coordination is fantastic. He's bilingual, so he looks at English stuff and Spanish stuff. He loves his music and dance. He learns the names for animals and learns how to play games, and it's the future, so he should know how to use this technology. But at the same time, I wouldn't like him connecting in that sort of way. I wouldn't like him using WhatsApp, Facebook. I wouldn't like him. He knows what Facebook is and stuff because he sees pictures of himself on there, because we're kind of snap happy with our kids. We're proud parents, but you've seen my little boy, he's a sociable little creature because I encourage him to have conversations in person. And I do think that you can't just give, like with us in the 90s, and in every generation had TV, kind of plonked in front of the TV, and you get on with the housework while kiddie watches TV. It's the same sort of principle. But the ones that were abused it a bit too much, end up with brain dead fucking kids that collect comic books and talk about. Hold on. Anyway,
that went full circle and hit home hard.
no, I'm just saying you've got to be responsible with it. You can't just rely on that piece of technology to bring your kid up, and you need to pay attention to what they're looking at.
Yeah, else they'll turn out like us.
No, I'm talking on a predatory sense.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
but yeah, as well, he could turn out like us. So. Overweight and looking forward to the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie or whatever's coming out, and feeling depressed because there's nothing geeky in the news. That's very much how I feel.
I think it's, but no, wrapping that up, definitely. I think they should be fined a hell of a lot more, and I think, just everything that you just said, couldn't agree more. Absolutely.
And also, as well, with all this drone talk, I mean, what's to say we don't get so used to using all this technology that as soon as it's not around, we fall on our knees? Like, for the same way we'd fall on our knees. Well, a few years ago, if we ran out of petrol, excuse me, burping like crazy. Again, I did this last week. If we'd have run out of petrol a few years ago and oil and stuff, we'd have fallen on our knees and everything would have ceased to exist the way it does. Whereas if it happened now, we'd be like, well, we got Tesla, we got this, we got that,
Whereas we're not there yet. If that happened now, we would be fucked.
Yeah, I know.
Guarantee it still.
But we now have ways forward.
Yeah.
Whereas we didn't before. And if we start relying on drones to start taking blood and to start taking bits from hospitals to places, and I just feel like there's we could fuck up even more, I think, as a society. Anyway, before I start droning on too much about it again.
Oh no,
I'm not that drunk. Move on to dickhead of the week. What do you reckon?
Well, I've already given my dickhead of the week. I didn't have one, so you do yours, man.
Well, mine hits hard this week. And that's Lindsay Lohan. That cunt keeps coming back in the news. And she is starting a campaign to become Batgirl in the new movie. So let's let that sink in for a little bit. So imagine Lindsay Lohan as Batgirl. What do you reckon?
The only person who has a right to campaign as a character is Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool, because that's like someone cancelled his birthday party, and he should have always had the chance to go back and go to social media and get fans to go, yeah, we want this. If you're campaigning to be a character in a film, it's like, go to your auditions, love, and see if you can actually act first. Because I can think of fucking Jessica Chastain would make a better Batgirl.
She would. No, the problem is with her is I would have loved to have done that a few years ago. She's getting on a bit now. And obviously.
But as an example,
Gordon's a lot younger,
As an example,
exactly,
she still
she
would.
Looks like her.
You could have the girl out of friggin' the goofy, teethy girl out of Pitch Perfect. If you dyed her hair a little bit, would make a better Batgirl. Like, she's relevant and young. Like, not Lindsay Lohan.
The problem I have with this is
Lindsay,
Lohan.
Oracle, you've been eating the pizzas again, haven't you? Just like, nom, 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 nom. What? You leave my pizza alone.
Oh, holy shit, Batgirl! What are these tracking marks up your arm? Like, what the fuck, man? This girl, like, she completely abused this fucking gift she got given. Young kid actor, I get it. It's traumatizing for her. A lot of shit going on in Hollywood we don't really know about. But at the same time, like, not every fucking young actor goes and shoves fucking shit into their body, gets drunk and makes a fool of herself all over the fucking world again and again and again and again. I don't think this girl deserves a chance at any movie. She's just trying, like, with the whole Harvey Weinstein thing. Like, she was like, I really feel for Harvey. He knows where I am. If he needs any help, like you're not sucking his dick literally to try and get a part, are you? Like, you know what I mean? Just trying to worm a way back into Hollywood. You had your chance. You shot it up your arm. You're a cunt. Fuck off. Give it to fucking. I don't care if they recast fucking Amy Adams as Batgirl rather than Lois Lane. I don't care. I'd rather have bat nip. I think we're going to get bat nipples, but I'd rather go back and have bat nipples again with George Clooney. Honestly, I can't stand this cunt. No way. It's not happening. Fuck off. Goodbye. You're a dickhead. Of the year, never mind of the week.
Is it that time?
I'm getting my number generator out. My trusty number generator.
It's that time, right? Let's get this saved so we don't lose that. What we got? What numbers we got?
Number 3.
Got number 3.
Versus number 91. 3 versus 91. Where is Superhero Barfight?
Oh, can you imagine if you lost the list of people?
3 is Hulk.
Well, we know who's going to win.
Oh my god, that'd be a nightmare. 3 is Hulk and 91 is Martian Manhunter.
Oh, right. I don't know enough about Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter, he can change into anything. He could turn into Hulk.
Is that what his power is?
Yeah.
Oh. Would he have the same? Would he have the same powers as the Hulk though, or does he just look like the Hulk with Martian Manhunter's strength? How does that shit work?
That's a good question. Does Martian Manhunter?
Or just put Martian Manhunter powers. Like that. That would like you need to add people in here that
I do know. Obviously, I know he's a shapeshifter, but I don't know. Like, it's a really good question. So his name's.
Well, I've got some editing to do.
Yeah, superhuman. You do. He's got superhuman strength. He can fly, and he's a shapeshifter. He's intangible. He's got intangibility, invisibility, telepathy, and telekinesis.
Intangibility. What the fuck is that? Is that where you walk into a room and everyone's like, "Ooh, he's a bit sexy"? What the fuck is intangibility?
All I know is he's shit scared of fire. If you've ever seen any of the animated DC animated view, and whenever there's fire about, he kind of freezes up. He's an alien that come from wherever. And he can change into anything. He's pretty he's really overpowered, but a bit like the Green Lanterns, like kind of like allergic to yellow. He's kind of.
What's with that with DC? We're gonna overpower our hero, but Superman versus Paul Daniels. Paul Daniels would win because he knows how to pull a rabbit out of a hat. It's just like.
Paul Daniels is going on Superhero Barfight. Paul Daniels versus John Constantine. Right, okay. So listen. I'm gonna.
And is this your card?
Americans aren't gonna know what the fuck we're talking about. I'm gonna say Hulk is gonna win on this one because Hulk is the Hulk, right? I don't care if Martian Manhunter can turn into Hulk, Red Hulk, fucking Abomination. I don't care what he can turn into. The Hulk's strength is just raw, and it's just nothing. That sounded like Snoke then. Raw.
The thing about the Hulk is like the more, the more pressure he gets on him, the stronger he gets. Like he gets as powerful as he is pushed. So like I know that as far as like there's some bits in like certain comic books where like he just. It's limitless power in the same way as like Superman is supposed to be as powerful as he needs to be. The Hulk is exactly the same, but he just needs to be pushed to reach it. So
I do think it'll be a good fight because Martian Manhunter, from what I can read here, he can heal. He's got a healing factor and he can fly and he can change into anything. So he's got that against it. He's got that against the Hulk. He can turn into an ant. Like and like appear as an elephant behind him, or he could turn into anything and use that as his ability. I mean, he'd piss the Hulk off He would really like, because obviously he can fly as well. He can fly to space, wait for him to calm down, follow him, and then stick his dick in his ear, literally fit it into his ear. Like,
have you seen the Disney film Moana?
mm-hmm.
He reminds me of The Rock in Moana, where he's just turning into like different fucking annoying animals. He's just turns into a bird, flies up, turns into a whale, and then splashes down in the water. But that's about as much as he's going to do. He's like, he's going to get the Hulk a bit wet by splashing him, essentially.
And I stumbled on his name, obviously, because I know like his name's Jones. It's John Jones, but his name's spelled like J''ONN. J''ONZZ. He's the only Jones that would stand out in Wales. Like,
what did you say his name was? Just then, was it John Jones?
John Jones, yeah,
like the UFC guy. Like, you don't watch UFC, do you? Fuck. Oh, we need some new fucking panel members. You're shit. You don't even watch UFC.
Hey, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, I'm getting someone else who knows they're fighting.
You don't even watch Black Mirror, you cunt. What are you on about?
I reckon.
I think this will be close.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I do.
Off the sounds of it, Martian Manhunter would really piss him off, turning into things like say, turn it like into an ant and just like round the back, turn into an elephant, stomp on him. But the thing is, like, the Hulk is not just strong; he is fast, and he's agile, and he's quick, and he's not dumb like I think a lot of people think about with the Hulk. He's not supposed to be this dumb character. Like, he knows what's actually going on around him as the Hulk.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think if Martian Manhunter ran underneath him as a fucking as an ant, appeared as a gorilla, beat shit out of him behind, and then run back under him as an ant again, come at the front and as a gorilla again, and started beating him up again, and kept doing that, I think Hulk would get confused. He'd be like, whoa, whoa. I can imagine him like losing his temper and like getting really annoyed. Thinking about it, I don't think Hulk.
That sounds like one of the really awfully coded QuickTime bits where you have to keep bashing X in Lego Marvel. It's just like, that sounds awful. I don't want to play that bit.
And like the one thing that John Jones is vulnerability is fire. I don't think Hulk can smash things up, but he can't produce fire. He can't wave a lantern in front of him and stuff like that. All he can do is smash. He's not gonna think to take something and to light it on fire. And
the thing
I don't know. I think we need to.
If you've got two things the size of Hulks, i.e., Martian Man Hulk and Hulkbuster, there was lots of explosions during that, right? Like, you're not doing like Daredevil versus Moon Knight that would be like could take place in a corridor in some Netflix scene. Like, this is gonna be shit's getting blown up, so there's gonna be fire. There's gonna be a gas explosion somewhere along the lines. It's gonna have to be.
I think out of everyone on our list, I think Martian Manhunter stands more of a chance of beating Hulk than a lot of the members on here. I do think it's going to end up in some sort of stalemate. I really honestly don't think. At first, I was going to go with Hulk, but then I remembered, like, he can fly, he can change into an eagle, he can do anything. He could turn into some sort of 18-foot monster from out of Rick and Morty with fucking 12 arms and a fucking crazy tongue and weird shit. He can turn into anything, honestly. So I don't know.
Hulk picks up a planet. Hulk picks up like an entire planet at one point. Like, Martian Manhunter is, I thought you said he's got superhuman strength. So's Iron Man got technically superhuman strength, but it's nothing compared to the Hulk. Like, he just gets stronger and stronger.
Here's what happens, right? And fuck you, by the way, before you say anything. Martian Manhunter turns into a hornet. He flies into Hulk's mouth. He then turns into Abomination from inside the Hulk's body and splits him into a million pieces. Done.
The Hulk is just... Done. Its actual muscle wouldn't split like that. Otherwise, a bullet would just go through him. And
Martian Manhunter, he turns into planet Earth then. Do you know what I mean? Like, he would just...
It would be like a scene in Looney Tunes where, like, fucking Daffy Duck swallows Yosemite Sam's rifle or something. It's just like he's just going to have smoke come out of his ears, and like his stomach's going to go enlarge, go, and then smoke comes out of his ears, and he goes, "Whoo, ay 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 ay."
This is difficult. This one is. I think we're gonna need some help over the week.
I reckon we need to throw this one out there. I reckon we should start doing some polls, and I reckon we come back.
I've been trying to do polls, but I don't know if you saw it recently, but you know, we've been networking like crazy as a show, and we've made loads of really good friends out there. So I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna try and get us a good poll going.
So I'm putting it out there at the moment. So what I'm saying is, I think Hulk's gonna win. Like, even
I
turn into Planet Earth in his belly. Like, it's not gonna actually do anything. It's gonna, like I say, it's gonna be like a scene out of the Looney Tunes where they swallow a grenade and like their stomach expands a bit and smoke comes out of their ears. That's literally gonna be it. The Hulk's just far too powerful.
I see. Oh, did you see that that poster I put up, by the way, yesterday? Was it yesterday or today, when the guy dabbing, and it says, when you get your decision on Superhero Barfight wrong?
Yeah.
That's got to be today. I'm sorry. I can't picture Hulk. I can't picture him losing because he's Hulk, but I can't picture him winning because of Martian's abilities. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's like, Martian Manhunter is amazing, but he's also a tertiary kind of character. He's not like he even gets relegated from the Justice League to the Justice League of America.
There you go.
But I think that's because of his beliefs rather than, and just mistakes he's made, rather than his abilities. I'm gonna get out with this. I'm gonna dip my toe in the pool and see if I can get a good response. I'm gonna create a tally chart or a fucking pie chart or something. I don't know.
Oh god.
And see if we can.
Don't struggle too much. We all know you can't count. I hope more than 6 people don't vote, otherwise you're fucked. Anyway, right, let's wrap it up there because I need to go get some food. Hulk's gonna win. Drones are gonna destroy us all, and Donald Trump is a twat. Conclusion for the show. Drop the mic.
Yeah, and yeah, don't even bother talking to us if you're from a bullshit country. I'm joking.
Yeah, if you're from the UK, don't bother talking to us if you're from the UK because you're a bullshit country. Nah, thanks for coming and watching us again each week. Hugely appreciated.
Yeah. Awesome. And we're gonna. Oh my god, magic is happening with guests, by the way, and we're gonna try and get a guest on the show every single month of the year. And we're starting to pull in some power now with that. Jimmy's working, I'm working, and we're gonna get people on soon. So
yeah,
keep your ears to the ground, motherfuckers, and we love you. Thors-Kin out. Peace out, bitches.
Bye bye.
James is gay.